Hello everyone, my name is Koushik Datta. Welcome you to my channel Learning with KD, where I will explain you about the absolute advantage theory, which is also known as Adam Smith theory of international trade, which is very frequently used law in economics. I will try to explain you in a very clear and easy way. Now coming to the introduction of absolute advantage theory. The absolute advantage theory was propounded by Adam Smith, who was also known as father of economics, in the year 1776 in his book The Wealth of the Nation. So basically, by definition, what does absolute advantage theory mean? It means when an individual, a company or a country produce to their best of their ability, that is, more efficiently than their competitors. So going ahead to the absolute advantage theory, let me give you a little background. So back in those days, 1770s, 80s, what was the norm which was followed in Europe? It was followed if a nation wants to grow, if they want to increase their wealth, they should all focus on increasing their exports, whereas imports should be curbed. And like that, your country will grow. But Adam Smith was highly against this. He said by following this particular theory of mercantilism, few countries will definitely gain, but they will gain at the cost of the other. So he wanted to promote this particular theory. He said one should do what you are best at. So let us take a common life example. Suppose A and B. So A is a very good baker. So he can make 5 cakes in a span of 2 hours. Whereas B can only bake 2 cakes in a span of 2 hours. On the other hand, we see that B is a very fast typist. So B can type 25 pages in a span of 2 hours, whereas A can only type 12 pages in a span of 2 hours. So we notice that A is a very good baker and B is a very good typist. Now what should they do? Now A will say that A can bake cake for B, as in a span of 2 hours B can only bake 2 cakes, whereas on the other hand, B can type pages for A, as in a span of 2 hours, A can only type 12 pages. So in this manner, they both are doing their best of their ability, and that way both of them are gaining. That is why Adam Smith propagated that both the countries will be benefited if they follow absolute advantage theory. Let us quickly go through the assumption before we move to the crux of the model. So here Adam Smith has considered 2 countries and only 2 commodities. So basically it's 2 by 2 model. We have taken free trade, that is there is no excise duty or no tariff. We have taken cost of production, only labor cost, and lastly our labor is mobile within the country but immobile between the countries. Now we see 2 countries, India and Bangladesh, and 2 commodities, pen and pencil. So everything is pretty much hypothetical. We have taken time span of 1 hour. So in time span of 1 hour, India can make 15 pen, whereas Bangladesh can produce 7 pen. On the other hand, India can produce 25 pencils, whereas Bangladesh can produce 40 pencils in a time span of 1 hour. So from this very table, I am sure you can guess which country has advantage of producing what good. So India of course is better in producing pen and Bangladesh is better in producing pencils. Smith said that countries should trade goods in which they are best at. So if they both trade, we notice that India will give 15 pen to get 40 pencil. So it's gain for both the countries. In a span of 1 hour, Bangladesh only having 7 pen, but now by giving 40 pencils to India, Bangladesh is having 15 pen. So we notice that both of the countries are benefiting from the absolute advantage. So that is what Adam Smith used on free trade. He said countries should specialize at those goods whose cost is less than the others. And of course, you should work on what you are better at and trade with other countries. So lastly, moving ahead to the pros and cons of absolute advantage theory. So one major advantage of this theory was that specialization which was promoted by Adam Smith. It led to higher productivity in the country. Next, the lower cost of the production was also observed because of the economic of scale, because we were producing in bulk. That is, we know we got the advantage of economics of scale at land lower cost of production. Cons. So in economics, we always know that the assumption later on jump up and become the cons of the theory. So only bilateral trade, that is trade between two countries, were considered and not multi-trade was considered. Only two commodities were taken into account, and lastly Adam Smith ignored the protectionist measure like tariff and the excise duty and so on. So this theory was criticized by David Ricardo. My next video will be on Ricardian theory of international trade, that is the comparative advantage theory. Thank you everyone for watching the video. Please do not forget to like my video and subscribe to my channel in case you haven't already. Thank you everyone. Have a safe and a lovely day.